Hello and welcome back to another video from me, LordOfPondtail. You can call me Pond. This is another video in tutorial about Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. And today I have the privilege of being able to talk to you about the role of Emperor and what the responsibilities are and what's necessary for your 7 days in charge of a state. So, as I say, this week I have the privilege of being Emperor in State 55. I'd like to say thank you to my fellow players, VJ and Darth in particular, for allowing me to take on the Emperor role this week. For those of you in older states, obviously you're going to know how Emperors are assigned, but for those of you who are in these brand new states where you haven't had throne battles yet, basically on a Saturday morning, you're going to have your throne battle, which will require alliances to go up against each other. Initially, just alliances from in the same state, but also once you start Clash of Province, you'll be up against the alliances from the state you're competing against that week. To win the throne battle, you're going to have to get to the first state. It'll be the first alliance that reaches 100% in the throne. Once you've done that, then that alliance gets to select the Emperor. If no one is specifically selected within the first hour, then the Emperor is automatically assigned to the R5 leader of the winning alliance. And that person then gets to rule the state for a week. Now, in terms of who becomes Emperor, with younger states, obviously, if you're up against each other, then it's going to be the strongest alliance. And then generally, it's the strongest player within that alliance that is going to get Emperor. Once alliances settle down and states mature a little bit, and invoke map and other things like that, and alliances start working together, some states like to rotate who is Emperor. So in 55, that's what we do. Other states, they usually just like to keep it as the most powerful player in the state. So if we have a look around near us, so here I am, State 55, LordOfPondtail as Emperor. And if we move across, so for instance, State 53, my original state, I know at the moment they rotate between Merkham, who's on Emperor this week, and also they rotate between Merkham, Builder, and Fubra. Over in State 52, Good Shot is the strongest player in that state, and he is always on the throne. And also up here as well, State 47, Mantes, he is an extremely strong player, one of the strongest in our sector. He's always on the throne every week in 47. But in terms of your state, it really is down to personal preference and how that state has developed, who you use. The big thing as we go in to 55. So what are the benefits of being Emperor? Well, if we click on our details, you're going to see here Emperor and its significant buffs for the Emperor. As you can see here, has the supreme right and can rule the entire kingdom and leads the nation to the prosperity and the strong and prosperous. And you're going to get here a 50% buff on your troop might and also a 50% buff on your troop defense and handily 100% buff on your marching speed. So generally, if you've got your strongest player with these buffs, they're going to be a real difficult foe for other people to defeat. Now, if we just come over to the throne. So over at the throne, if you click on information, it's going to show here that I took office on the 11th of July, and I have the throne for the week. So I've got another 4 days, 12 hours as the Emperor. And on record here, it's going to show you who were the players from which alliance who were occupying the throne during the throne battle. There is also a information event rules help from the game developers if you want to read up on the different phases of throne war, etc. And then if we click on throne again, you've got the town hall icon here. So we're going to select that, and we've got 3 tabs in the town hall. First one for Emperor. So obviously, as it shows, it's me who is the Emperor this week. Look on the left, unmatched honor. So getting Emperor, you get a pretty decent reward pack, 5 million lumber, 1,500 gems, not bad, 2.5 million gold, a precious super ticket, 500,000 XP for your heroes, 100 wisdom medals, 2 advance and recruit tickets, and 5 advanced teleports, which always come in handy. Plus, you've probably, if you're having a throne war, you've probably used a load of advanced teleports already anyway. Down here, we've got honor halls. That simply shows who were the previous emperors in the previous week. So you can see, as I say, we share it around in 55. Various people have been it between the 3 or 4 main alliances. And then at the bottom here, we've got a province overview. So it's going to tell you your population, your ranking, where you are in Clash of Province, Lord Power ranking. So I'm at number 2 at the moment. And it's going to show you, then this right icon is the Alliance Power. So I've popped into Und this week, which is why I'm down here. Bar, as you can see, is the most powerful alliance in our state. And then on the right hand side, so one of the cool things about being Emperor is you get to commemorate those who have helped you in the Throne War. And you can give out gifts to 35 players in your state to repay them for the efforts they put into you guys winning that throne battle. Again, depending on how your state works, we also, in our state, we generally will contact the leaders of the 4 main alliances and split the gifts evenly between mainly developing players. But if someone has taken a lot of losses in the throne battle, we might go and give them something. So the top one here, Conqueror's Gift, you get 5 of these. And these are pretty good bonuses for players. So it's 2 million food, 1,000 gems, 1 million gold, 60,000 alliance contribution points, some hourly speed ups, some 2-hour training speed ups, always helpful, and 2-hour healing speed ups, and then your 3 advanced recruitment tickets. Down here, next on there is Defender's Gift, and you get 10 of these. So again, 1 million food, 750 gems, 750,000 gold, down to 40,000 alliance contribution points, 4 hours of speed ups, 15 lots of 2-hour training, 4 lots of 2-hour healing, and 2 advanced recruit tickets. And lastly, Supporter's Gift, and you get 20 of these. 500,000 food, 500 gems, 500,000 gold, 20,000 alliance contribution points, 3 hours of speed ups, 10 lots of 2-hour training, 3 lots of 2-hour healing, and just the 1 advanced recruitment ticket with this one. Up here on the left, this little scroll icon, it's going to show you who's already got rewards. So I've given some of the leaders of the alliances, LYC and SOT, already contacted me, and I've given out some to the players in Und. So I've got some rewards still left here, 11 in total to give out to players. So what I'm going to do is just show you how we're going to grant a gift. So we're going to click on Grant a Defender's Gift, and then luckily it does actually show you who your recent contacts were, or you can actually search any player in your state. So I am going to search for Haki, who is a player that I've been in the same alliance with for a long time. And Haki's a C24, pushing his development for C25 and that first T9. So a Defender's Gift for him is going to just give him that little extra push this week to try and help him move up that castle level. So all you have to do is just select it there and then send. And there you go. It's just going to show then in red that he's received that gift, and you can come back out. As you can see, I've now just got the 1 Defender's Gift left to give. Coming back to the main town hall page, and as you can see, onto the next tab is Hero. So up the top, here I am as the Emperor, and one of the things that you can do each week is you can give out 8 ministerial positions. Those are going to be 8 players that are in charge of the different throne buildings. So you've got Queen, Prime Minister, Judge, Finance Minister, Legion Master, Royal Guard, Minister of Science, Minister of Construction. I am going to do a different video just talking about those specific roles so that we can try and keep the runtime of this one down. So I will go through the different ministerial positions at another point. In terms of, again, delegating out those positions in your state, if there is one particularly strong alliance in a state and they are dominating that state, then they might obviously just keep all of those positions for their own players. Again, in 55, we're quite a democratic state. We try and share them around, so you'll be able to see below that there are players from all the 4 top alliances who have been given positions this week, and we ask the leaders of each of the main alliances to put forward their suggestions for who they'd like to get that position. And again, generally, it's either players that are developing and just need that extra push, or also in terms of the battle positions, so Legion Master and Royal Guard, they would usually go to 2 players who are in the top 5 strongest accounts in the state to help protect the state in your Clash of Province, and also your Reign of Chaos battles and Eden battles. As we scroll down, you also have some fun little things here, which are the slaves. So these are debuffs for the week for players. Maybe someone's been, a bit disagreeable in your state and they deserve a bit of a punishment, then the game does allow you these debuffs. So for instance, you can make someone a maid for the week, and what that's going to do is it's going to reduce their troop might by 10% and reduce their resource income by 5%. And you can appoint in a similar way to how you give out the gifts. You just find them and select them. In 55, I have to say, we haven't been using these slave roles. Again, we're a pretty peaceful state now. So we generally leave these each week. There is a theory around debuffs as well, that if you do receive a debuff, then potentially you have more luck at recruiting orange heroes or special heroes on recruitment day. Whether that's true or not, no one can tell. We haven't actually ever heard anything from the developers about that. But you will often see some players actually being the jester or beggar or the fool for the week, just to see if they can get a bit of luck. So those are your ministers, both the heroes and the slaves. And then we're on to the last tab in the town hall. So here on the left, we've got awaiting rebuild. So this is the chapters that your state go through. So when you go to a national quest, again, I'll do a more thorough video on national quests coming soon. But when you go to a national quest, you're going to receive XP for the quest that you're doing, and the higher the chapter, the more XPs you're going to get for that. The key thing on this page is after the throne battle, you need to place the residences, the buildings again, so that the players in the state can go on the quests. So all you'll have to do is you come into the town hall, click title, and then you'll see that this, if you've just had the throne war and you've just become the emperor, this place button will show blue and allow you to place the buildings, and then people can start. You can then give out the minister roles and people can go on their national quests. Here on the right is the open, so that there are the requirements to develop through the 5 chapters in the game at state level. And if you click on open, this will then tell you what's required to open the next chapter. So here in 55, it shows that we are going to need, from the national quests, we're going to need players at level 60 to open chapter 4. So it goes in 20. So you need level 20s to open chapter 2, level 40s to open chapter 3, level 60s for chapter 4, and level 80s for chapter 5. So right now, and these are the 4 different icons for the 4 different classes. So we are in the green for farmers. We have 139 farmers. Raiders, we need another 16 players. Diamond is traders. We need another 57 traders. And for architects, we're really lagging behind there. We need 75. So everyone's going to be working hard on upgrading their architect farms to level 60 so we can open chapter 4. It does allow you to look at a quest preview here. So it will show you what levels the new quests will be at for the different buildings. Again, at level 4, you're getting some serious XP. As you can see, over 100,000 per quest there. So that's going to help you develop your castles really quickly in the national quest. Another cool thing you can do as Emperor is, I'm sure if you're in a slightly older state, you're going to have seen this quite a few times. but the emperor can send an imperial message, and that is to contact the commanders of the state. There is a limit of the amount of mails that can be sent during a presidency, but I haven't sent any yet, so I can send mail. And you get 7, so it's 1 a day. And the first one is free, but after that, they are going to charge you diamonds to send an imperial message, unfortunately. But you can write messages if you want to generally, whether you've got a tough week in Clash of Province and you want to push everyone in the state to do a certain thing or have a certain tactic, it's a good way to send an imperial message. If you want people to collaborate in terms of Reign of Chaos strategy, or even just updating them in terms of your progress for opening the state chapters. So, asking people to push their development for their architects, for instance, in our state. So the Emperor Mail has got lots of different good functions that you can take advantage of. And then the last section of the title tab is province management. So during the time on the throne, click change button to change the appearance of the throne and the flag once. So if I click on change, there's a couple of different options for the throne. And if you wanted, you can change national flag. Here in 55, we just have it as the United Nations flag. We don't have specific nations, even though I am tempted, being British, to put the Union Jack on there, but I'll resist. And then over here, we've got resource management. And in resource management, you can select a resource and more of it will spawn in the world. Level 8 plots of this resource will also be spawned around you. Now, more than likely, everyone is going to select iron because that is always the most scarce of the 4 main resources. Certainly in 55, we always have it on iron. So that is already set to iron, so I'm just going to leave that. And that is everything in terms of the functionality of being an emperor in the town hall. In terms of your responsibilities, well, most states, when you're having Clash of Province, you're going to, as emperor, be representing your state against the other states for that week. And if, for instance, you're reasonably peaceful state and you want to negotiate a peaceful throne war, you would contact the other emperor and start negotiations in that way. And really, again, it's all about how you want to run the state as emperors. If you have a tyrannical streak in you, then you might want to have a bit of an iron grip on your state and use those debuffs. For those who are a bit more democratic, like we are and quite a lot of states are, you're going to want to share around those gifts and those rewards. But of course, it's entirely up to you. And that's really everything about being emperor in terms of the functionality of the role and your responsibilities for the week. What you want to remember is, again, because you've got that buff, you want to try and be available for the following week's throne battle so you can help out. And just enjoy that week of having the crown above your head. And that's everything from me for today. I hope you've liked this video, and please do subscribe, ring that bell, place comments, and share my channel. But for now, guys, that's it. See you soon. Bye.